Morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. I know for us here in Colorado, it's 10 o'clock. So it's like we've done some stuff. We're getting into the swing of things, but you're still getting your there we go. Alicia's got the coffee.
Like mostly through my coffee.
Yeah, we're still getting there. We're still catching up. So we're so glad that we are meeting with all of you this morning. You guys know how much Alicia and I absolutely love this. Laura, I can see you're already chatting in, letting us know where you're at. So I'm going to do some of that kind of initial housekeeping stuff while people are popping in here. So first and foremost, let's talk about the chat. People are already using it, and I'm super excited about it. If you look on the bottom of your Zoom screen, there's a chat option. I feel like people are getting more familiar with this now that we're on Zoom a lot these days. But one of the key things that they have changed recently is when you pop open that chat, it automatically chooses hosts and panelists that you're chatting to. That's awesome for Alicia and I because we get to see it all, but we want to make sure this is a conversation for the whole community as well. So make sure that you click that little blue tab and choose everyone so that everyone can see it. And in order to get this thing started, some people are already kind of chatting where they're from. I want to hear something new this month, though. I'm a little excited to see where this goes. What is your favorite television show? We talk about video all the time. Alicia, I can already see your mind kind of cranking here. So, we've already got, yes, Ted Lasso, some good ones. So it's just start chatting stuff in. It's a really fun thing. And I'm looking for some new ideas. So throw those in the chat. I also didn't introduce Alicia. I'm sure a lot of you guys know Alicia, our national speaker, but good morning, Alicia. How are you?
Good morning, Kevin. I'm excited to be here as always.
Good. This is always a fun morning. So we're excited, and we've got a really fun topic to kind of go over this month. So we talked about the chat. That's where you can chat in all sorts of stuff. Any questions you've got, any thoughts you've got, comments, whatever, throw that in there. If you have a really specific question, you can see the chat gets cranking pretty fast. So there's a Q&A section at the bottom of Zoom as well. And that's obviously for question and answer. So if you've got that, we've got a few wonderful people. We have Michelle, we have Ethan Butte on as well. We've got Aaron on. They're going to be helping us keep track of the Q&A and answering questions and stuff. So if you've got a question that you're like, there's no way I'm the only person that has this, and you don't want us to miss it, please throw that in the Q&A so we don't miss it in the chat there. We're going to do our best actually this month to change things up a little bit and try to answer questions throughout the webinar a little bit more than we typically do. We usually leave questions for the end. We're going to try and cover things as we're going through all the different stuff we're talking about today. So just use both of those so that this can be a really fun conversation back and forth between you guys, between us. We're excited to talk through that. One last piece, and you may have already seen this when you initially logged on. We are recording this. So this webinar will be recorded. We will send you a recording, and teaser, we're also going to show you where all of our past webinars are. So you will always be able to go to this place when we show it to you and find any past webinars. So even if you're like, shoot, I missed the recording, I didn't get the email, no problem. You will have a resource for that. So we'll talk through some of those sort of things. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to you, Alicia. I'm excited to kind of jump into this topic today.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. So rather than talking through strategy or talking about specific product features today, Kevin and I are going to show you the Resource Hub. And if you have not been to the Resource Hub yet, you are in for a treat. We launched it live. I'm trying to think of when it went completely live, maybe a month or two ago. I don't know. Time blends together.
In that range somewhere. I don't remember the exact
around
date,
there.
but that sounds about right. Yeah.
But really, we have compiled all of our best resources, the full spectrum of what you're going to need in this one place. So I'm really excited. And after we show you everything in the Resource Hub, just means Kevin and I are going to have to work a little harder at bringing value every month on these sessions because we're giving you everything we have here. So first of all, you're going to find the Resource Hub by going to bombbomb.com/resource-hub. Okay. I would suggest maybe just like bookmarking it on the browser that you use most often, because you're going to come back here a lot. So, I think the first place that I'm going to show you is just right here at the top is the use case library. It does not matter how long that I have been here at Bombbomb and doing this job and talking to customers, people always want to see examples, especially examples in their industry or what they're doing. And so the use case library is where you're going to be able to go to see what other people are doing. So I'm just going to go ahead and click into the resource library here on the use cases and show you some of the stuff we have in here. So here in the use case library, we're we're going to show examples, but there's not necessarily strategy, but you have all of these options. So you have outreach, appointment setting and holding, overcoming objections, recruiting, product overview, after purchase, internal communication, special occasions, training and education. So those are the breakdowns of the categories there, but I'm just going to jump in here at an outreach and show you a few things in here, right? You've got all of your categories. You've got outbound outreach, you've got unresponsive leads, you've got inbound lead response, and every single one of these is going to have a video example. The one I actually want to show you though is going to be over here in overcoming objections. So if you are in sales and you are wanting to know how other sales professionals just like you are using video to overcoming objections, you can come in here and watch some of these examples. I want to show you this example here by Angela. This is one of my favorite video examples, Kevin, because she does such a good job of addressing a competitor. And that's exactly what this one is. It's under competitor comparison. So I'm going to play this video for you guys so that you can see this example.
Hi, Logan. Hey, it's Angie Stiller, and I wanted to, as promised, follow up and see how you were feeling about the life insurance policy that we chatted about. I did actually do a little bit more research on Amica, and funny thing is, it's been years since I've heard that name, but I did a little bit more research, and it's a good company. There's not much to say outside of, I think at this point, you just need to decide if you're interested in working with a local person, if that makes a difference for you, or if you would like to have someone at a call center, because I think that's the biggest difference. Currently, at least what I could see, but it is a good company. So let me know. Hopefully you had a chance to sit and visit with your parents about it. Either way, just shoot me an email or text, or you can call me and let me know where we stand. Otherwise, if I don't hear from you, I'll probably maybe follow up in 3 to 5 days and we'll go from there. Okay. Thanks so much, Logan. Have a great day.
Okay. So she, number one, says that she did a little bit of the research and she doesn't badmouth the competitor. Right? She just says like, yeah, they're actually a great company. Now, she went another step further though, and just pointed out that we're local, they're a big national company, and you're going to deal with a call center. So you just have to make a decision about what you want, right? She provided the information. And then she also not only provided a call to action, right? Reply to the email, call me back, let me know where you're at. But then she set the expectation and let them know when she would do the same. So great video.
Well, and I love this one. I think this is such a great one. I'm glad you chose this one, Alicia, as well, for a lot of different reasons. One, this is something that I guarantee everybody that's on this conversation has had come up at some point, right? Yeah. If you're a realtor, I don't know if you know this or not, there's a lot of realtors in the world. And so there's a lot of competition out there. Why should somebody pick me versus them, right? I think it's easy to go, oh my gosh, I've worked with this other person before. They're a nightmare. But you don't want to be that person. You don't want to talk down on other people. Yeah. So you want to continue to talk yourself up. But I also love this as just a great example of why do I even come to the use case library, right? One of the reasons we wanted to cover the resource hub this month is to kind of help you guys know why to go to different places, how to navigate this resource that has tons of different locations. And to me, some of the questions, Alicia, I'm sure you've heard a lot of these over your years with Bombbomb too, is things like, I don't know what other people are doing that's winning for them, right? What are other people doing that's helping them win? This is a place to go to see exactly that. Another question that I get all the time on the customer success side in webinars and things like this is, do you guys have scripts? Can you provide scripts and things for me? Now, this could be a philosophical conversation that I could get into for a long time. There are probably a lot of different opinions on this as well. I don't like scripts. I don't want you to sound robotic. We don't want you to be sitting here going, hey, this is Kevin with Bombbomb. Did you know that the market this month is right? I mean, nobody wants to connect with that person. But this use case library is a really cool way to go, okay, how did Angela break that down? Right? What formula did she use? What did she cover at the beginning? What did she cover at the end? How did she navigate that so that you can take that and put it in your own words, kind of build your own script, I guess, if you will, on this. We never want to tell you what to say. There's no one right way to do any of these things, totally. But it's a great way to go. Here's how somebody did it that I really liked to listen to. And now you're thinking about the recipient. Now you're thinking about how it felt to be that person. And you can use this to start to build out your videos as well. So it's going to give you good ideas of what to do. It's going to help you know how to frame some of those videos. And obviously Angela's video, she's got some really great
So
videos.
great.
I've seen a handful of hers. So she's just so natural, so human. I kind of love that. So just a couple of points that I thought would be good to point out.
Yeah. And, use this as your inspiration, right? How many times have we had conversations where someone says like, oh yeah, I've been using Bombbomb for years. Oh, like, what are you using it for? Oh, I just use it for lead response. Right? Like there's so many things that you can be doing that are going to have a massive impact on your business. And so this is a great place. I'm telling you, the use case library is a great place to start for inspiration, right? If you're just not sure what all you could be doing with Bombbomb, then the use case library is a great place to start. So I'm going to go back just a little bit here. So now we're back to bombbomb.com/resource hub. So the next thing I want to show you is the video adoption guide. We call it the VMAG for short around here. Now, this is a downloadable PDF. Okay. Now I already have it pulled up. This is a big document or a big PDF where there's tons of resources. I think it's 124 pages, but I want to point out just 2 pieces in the VMAG that are really, really valuable. I mean, the whole thing is valuable, but there's 2 places that I want to draw your attention to. And the first one is there's a whole section on selling video up into your organization. What that means is that you're a user, you like Bombbomb, and you want your organization to adopt it at a higher level, right? You want your leadership, you want your manager, you want your other teammates to start using video. We have an entire section here all about how you need or how you can sell this up into your organization, right? So it's got training points, it's got ideas here. And then the next section, right after the selling video up into your organization, is selling video out into your organization. Maybe you're a team leader or a manager or a broker, and you firmly believe in video, but you're having a hard time getting your team to adopt it. You're having a hard time getting them to understand the why before video. For this video, you're going to come right in here and you've got this whole section on the best way to sell it out into your organization and get people to adopt it. So I would highly, highly recommend downloading the video messaging adoption guide. There's so much good content in there. But like I said, that's a meaty document, okay? It's 124 pages.
That's if you want to start to get into the mind and the psyche of us here at Bombbomb and why we do the things we do and some of those sort of things. So there's some great nuggets in there if you have the time to kind of browse through that though.
Absolutely. But again, just for those of you, if you are trying to get other people in your organization to adopt video, whether it's upwards into management or whether it's out into the rest of your team, you absolutely want to take the time with that document, okay? Any questions coming in that we need to jump on before we keep going?
There's a good one. It's not as specifically related to the resource hub itself, Alicia, but John actually wrote in and was asking about if it's possible to actually embed videos into emails, right? So that they can watch the email itself. This is a question we get. I don't know how many times have we answered this question over the years, Alicia, a lot. And it's a great one, right? Because I think there's a perception that, if they get clicked and redirected somewhere else, it's going to be a negative experience for them. But long answer short, John, no, there is not a way specifically to do that. But here's why. I want to give you a couple of the reasons and the thinking behind that is one, if we actually embed your videos into your emails get massive, right? Videos are very, very large files. And so all of a sudden, one, we can't deliver files that big on any sort of timeline whatsoever. But 2, all of the email providers, the algorithms, the spam blockers, they're going to see that and go, nope, I'm not letting my recipient see any of that, right? I don't know what this file is. I don't like it. So they're going to push it away immediately. So from a deliverability standpoint, that's one huge reason why we don't do it that way.
Yep.
It allows us to actually deliver the emails quicker. So we can put that small little animated preview, which is what shows up in that. But then we're hosting the video on that landing page that has all of your information and all of your branding and those sort of things. So I understand how looking at that goes, well, why don't we just put it in here? Yes, that would be wonderful if we could do that and it would actually work. Unfortunately, from a technical standpoint, there's a lot of other factors that go into that. So that is why we set it up the way we did. Just thought that was a good thing to touch on since we get that question so often. Did you have anything to add to that, Alicia?
Yeah, I would say that you have to understand that if you remember our session last month, if you joined us last month and we were talking about deliverability, is that what we talked about?
Yeah.
When we did talk about deliverability, the email service providers, they're the gatekeepers. They decide what's allowed and what's not allowed. And the email service providers are actually the ones that decided many years ago that they were not going to allow videos to play directly in the email. The only person that lets this happen is Gmail lets a YouTube video play in the email without navigating away. But that's because Gmail and Google and YouTube are, the same company, they're partnered, so they allow that to happen. But the video service providers don't, or the email service providers don't allow that to happen. The other thing is that because they actually have to click on the video and it doesn't just autoplay, number one, you're being respectful of the recipient. People don't necessarily always want that video to play, so they do actually have to click on it. But that click that opens it up and allows that video to play is what gives you the insight to know that they're actually taking the step to play that video. So I saw a couple questions in the chat as you were talking that I just want to point out. Someone said, is the resource hub included with Bombbomb? Oh yeah, the resource hub is for anyone, customers or not, but this is, you just go to bombbomb.com/resource hub and you're going to find all of these resources here. Okay.
Yeah. Did you have another one to touch on, Alicia? Because there was one more question I wanted to hit on before we jumped into the blog part there. Where are the scripts located under the resource page? We don't have scripts. We're not going to provide a list of scripts for you, but
we're going to get to frameworks because we're
going to get to some of those things. Yes.
Yep.
And the use case library was what we were referring to before as something that can kind of replace the idea of scripts. It'll give you ideas. It'll give you some frameworks and things. So there's a couple of different places, Larry, that you can look for those, but don't go searching for scripts. You're not going to really
you won't find them
anywhere. So we don't want you to get lost in looking for that.
Okay, so we talked about the use case library. We talked about the video adoption guide, articles. This is going to be the next place where you can go. This is going to take you directly to the Bombbomb blog. And the Bombbomb blog is updated, number one, constantly. But the types of things that you're going to find here on the blog are, number one, you're going to find technical articles. This very first one, easily get your video URL or HTML to add video anywhere. If you are someone that maybe just asked in chat about taking a video and posting a Bombbomb video and posting it on your website, this very first article in the Bombbomb blog is going to show you how to get that HTML coding or the URL so that you can post it somewhere. But you're also going to find other types of things in the blog. You're going to find announcements from us. Like if you haven't heard about our nonprofit initiative, Bombbomb is giving free accounts to nonprofits that are doing the work to rehumanize the planet. If you know a nonprofit that is doing work to help people, whether it is internationally or domestic, you can get them free Bombbomb accounts. There's an article about it on the Bombbomb blog. Let's see. You're also going to find like more strategic articles on here as well that are going to walk you through like increasing your video play rate, how you can create videos that people want to watch. So this is a really, really great resource to find the technical articles, the brand new releases. Like we released captions. That information is all right here on the Bombbomb blog. So this is a great place to check up on a regular basis and see what new stuff is happening, what we're talking about, any announcements or product updates.
You know what I love about the blog, Alicia, is I even go to the blog, right? Like I even check out the blog because I sometimes get to this point where like I've used video for so many years, and I'm sure you guys that have been with Bombbomb for a little bit feel this way, but sometimes you go, I want to learn more, but I don't know what I want to learn. Like I don't know what I don't know kind of thing, right? Yep. The blog is so great for that because sometimes it's like, oh, here's a new technical way you can do something that I didn't know I could do. Other times it's strategy based. So if you've ever had that idea of just, man, what's another thing I can do with video? What's a different direction I can go with this? What else can I do? I mean, of course, the use case library can help with that, but the articles, the blog is so good. And they not only talk you through why these are good ideas, but how to work through them and examples. They're put together so well. So it's just great for that thing. If you're going, I want to learn more, but I'm not sure what I want to learn right now or how I want to expand video in my business. That's a great resource for that. Looking at the articles.
Yep. And we even, we focus on other business type things on the blog as well that aren't even just specifically always related directly to video, right? We post articles about leadership. We post articles about how you can respond to uncomfortable comments from a client. Like there's lots and lots of resources there. So, okay, next, I'm going to move down here into this big blue box because this is where you're going to get more of the tactical, strategic training that you want to make your videos better. Okay. The strategic training that's here in this big blue box is based around the stuff that Kevin and I are teaching you every single month. Okay. So this section is broken down into two different things. You have role-based content or goal-based content. I'm actually going to start over here with our role-based content. So if I click here on role-based content, it's going to open up to this page where I have options for sales roles. I have options for customer service roles and then options for development roles. So let's say, for example, you are in customer service and you want to get some ideas for how you can onboard customers, or you've got customer success managers, you've got support associates. Again, just like the other, like the use case library was, when you scroll through here, it's going to have the video examples. I'm going to go back one slide here though. So you've got your sales roles, you've got your customer service roles, and you have your development roles. But oh, wait, we know that so many of you, our customers, are entrepreneurs. You're self-employed, you're running your own business, you are a real estate agent, or you are an insurance agent, or you are a coach or consultant, and you wear all of those hats. Well, great. We have some of those broken down for you here. So we have the financial section, we have a real estate section, and we have a mortgage section. So I'm going to click on this mortgage section. And then in here, you've got ideas for increasing appointments and conversions. If I open that up, I've got a few different suggestions. I've got increase, repeat, and referral business. You've got some different suggestions as well as strategies. And then same thing, save time and improve efficiency. Okay. So I opened this up. You've got this first one for saving time and improving efficiency. This very first one, your initial lead response. This is a big one. We talk about this all the time. If you have web leads coming in, if you have any leads coming in from web-based sources where you are pushing out some boring, plain text, automated response, you can put a video there. And if you're unsure how to get the actual video file and put it into your autoresponder, well, you can go back to the Bombbomb blog and look at the article about getting your HTML code. But this is a really, really good example. I love this one. So this is a pre-recorded lead response. This is our friend and customer, Chris Brown. He's in mortgage. And I'm going to play the video for you, but I want you to know what's different about the use case library versus this goal-based or the role-based content is that we're diving a little bit deeper into the strategy and the framework. So when do you use this? To respond to a lead inquiry via a lead generation platform, your website, or social media platforms to put a face to the name. It breaks it down for you. In the video, you should use a whiteboard, either to put their name on it or to get their attention. Because this is a pre-recorded one for saving you time, you're not going to put their name on it. But you can see what Chris does here. I know it's not very big, but it says, this is a legit video regarding the mortgage inquiry request you made. Right now, let me tell you, Chris gets really, really high engagement on his pre-recorded videos because of things just like this, right? When someone opens up that video, the first thing they're going to see is a smiling face of someone saying, this is actually a real video about information you requested. It's very compelling. So I'm going to go ahead and play this one for you, and then just show you the rest of the training points in there.
Hey, my name is Chris Brown, and Zillow, Trulia, it's the same company actually, asked us to reach out to you and wanted to go ahead and introduce myself so you can see that indeed, hey, we're real people helping real people just like you. And regardless as to whether you need to move right away or if you're just kind of kicking the tires to get a little bit of clarity, a little bit of a gauge on where things are and what that roadmap looks like moving forward to be able to buy a home, that's what we do. And Zillow frequently will look to us as their #1 reviewed lender here locally in Orlando to help folks to protect their reputation so you don't end up with some internet lender and you indeed have a good experience by having gone through their portal. So we're looking forward to helping make that connection and giving you the advice.
I'm going to pause it there so you don't have to watch the whole thing. But Chris does such a good job of working the strategy effectively. And so, you know, we talk about this framework all the time for your lead response video. It should be empathy, value, call to action. And, you know, I stopped his video halfway there, but you see, he opens up that video by really, you know, empathizing with them, letting them know that, you know, he is there to help and that, you know, he has this great relationship with Zillow and that he's got all of the, you know, the reviews, but he really focuses on, you know, the fact that he doesn't want them to end up with some, you know, random internet lender and that his passion is to help. So, you know, he does a really good job there. You've got your training, use your whiteboard, incorporate empathy, value, call to action framework, address the lead's mortgage needs and concerns, provide value, a clear call to action to schedule a meeting, keep your message to under a minute long, right? So you've got the strategy that we would normally teach you right there in that goal-based content. No,
we've got some really great questions coming in, Alicia, kind of about some of this. Ginger actually asked, do we have any training or tools for use of automations for workflows, right? When do you use more automations and automated evergreen videos like Alicia was just showing here with Chris? This would be a great place to go looking for that stuff, Ginger. We don't have a spot, right? We don't know your workflow completely. So I'm not going to say every time this happens, put an evergreen video in. Honestly, if you have time to personalize videos. They are more effective. It's great if you can use the whiteboard and put a person's name on it, use some of those techniques. But we also know that you have to be able to scale this usage. So I think it's really important to look at your whole sales process, your whole funnel, right? I think we've introduced the bow tie funnel to you guys of how there's kind of the typical sales funnel, and then there's the agreement, and then it's their clients of ours. Where does it go from there? And the funnel kind of opens back up. Look at that funnel as a whole and find the areas where you have to be a little bit more automated, where you can't be quite as personal. Evergreen videos are great for that. For example, a great one is maybe at the beginning of your funnel, right? Where you're thinking about the awareness and the education side of you and your business. That's a great way where you can answer a little bit more generic questions that you get asked a lot. If all of a sudden it's, I'm meeting a client and I'm following up on that meeting, I'm probably not going to use an evergreen video saying thank you for my meeting because I can't cover all the things that we talked about. So this would be a great long-winded answer. This would be a great answer or solution for you here, Ginger, of a place to look for this. Use the resource hub, use these goal-based, and even check the role-based as well, right? Use both sides of this for what you do in your industry, and it'll help kind of point out where are automated options and where are some more personalized options there. So love that question. I know it's one that we all have.
Yeah. Any other questions before I keep on going?
Oh man, there's Elizabeth actually asked, where are the webinar or the recorded webinars located? We will be getting there in just a minute, Elizabeth. I promise we're going to get there. And the only other one, Graham actually mentioned, he tried logging into the hub and it keeps putting him in his Bombbomb account. So if you go to bombbomb.com/resource-hub, you will not need to log in at all. If you just type in that URL, don't worry about clicking the orange login button that you can see on Alicia's screen up at the top right. You do not even have to be a Bombbomb client to use our resource hub. So I'll go ahead and paste that link up there again. If you click on that, it should take you directly to it. Don't worry about logging in. You should be able to explore it right from there. So if any of you are having that same problem, hopefully that answers that question for you as well.
Great question. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Resource Hub, right? I showed you some of the role-based content, and I love the role-based content because very quickly, right? Like, well, I'm a sales rep and I want to see the best strategies where I should be using video as a sales rep. But the other side of this blue box is really great as well, because this is the goal-based content. Now, the role-based content is broken out more by, smaller sections and smaller chunks of strategy. Whereas the goal-based content, I love this section because it's going to give you an opportunity to work through an entire process. You're going to see the whole strategy behind it. So we have it broken out here by prospect more effectively, set and hold more appointments, improve internal communication, communicate complex details more clearly, recruit and retain, increase repeat and referral, better identify your target audience, and get your team to adopt and use video. As you can tell, there are some common themes that you're going to see in multiple places. We've just made the Resource Hub the central place where if you know what you're headed for, you're going to be able to find it. You might find the same strategy or training in other places on the Resource Hub, but this is really going to be your map. So I'm going to click on this first one, the prospect more effectively, so you can see what I mean by it walks you through the entire process. So as soon as I open this up, it has a comprehensive guide to prospecting videos. And it's going to walk you through not only the why behind it, it's going to walk you through training points, right? Like how to make the most of your animated preview and how to keep it simple and how to show value quickly in a prospecting video. And it just walks you through. So it starts with the get more replies, clearly demonstrate product benefits, set more appointments, increase meeting and demo show rates, achieve smoother handoffs, and then make real connection with LinkedIn connections. But it basically just walks you through the whole step of prospecting. Another thing that I really like over here on the goal-based side is that we've built it in with tons of hyperlinks that are going to get you a deeper level of value. So for example, right at the beginning here, when it's talking about the why behind using video for prospecting, we've got this section here that says, in fact, the science of video backs this up. Research indicates that oxytocin, the chemical of bonding and connection emitted by touch and eye contact, is also produced via video. Now, we have the science of video here highlighted because we want you to know that we don't just make elaborate statements. And if you click on the science of video, it's actually going to take you over to one of the episodes from the Customer Experience podcast with Vanessa Edwards, who is a researcher. And you don't even have to listen to the whole podcast episode, though I would highly recommend it. It's a very good one. But it breaks it down so that you can see some of the high level points of this researcher talking about the science of the chemical reactions that happen in our brain with videos. So really love the way that this is structured out, this goal-based content, because it really walks you through the entire picture from start to finish. So it's the exact same thing. I clicked on the prospecting one, but it's the exact same one for, recruiting and retaining top talent. Again, it's going to walk you through the step-by-step of some of the best ways to do this from beginning to end.
I think what's so great about these two is they're really extensive. They are really full. Now, does that mean if you want to achieve this goal, you automatically have to do all of these steps? Absolutely not, right? We are not trying to overwhelm, but we want to give you a comprehensive picture of how others are achieving some of these goals. So what I would recommend as you're going through a lot of these is not go, okay, now I've got 10 new videos I've got to start implementing in my workflow. Pick a couple, right? This is my goal. I'm going to start with a few. Once I get comfortable with these, guess what? I'm coming back to the Resource Hub. I'm coming back to this goal, and I'm going to pick 2 more, and I'm going to add those in. And over time, it's kind of like the whole onion metaphor, right? You're going to add the layers. You're going to add the layers. You're going to add the layers, and you'll get closer and closer to that goal. But it also doesn't mean that you have to do all 10 to achieve that goal,
Totally.
right? just switching a video here and there, or a couple of messages here and there, just reconsidering how you're trying to achieve this and spending that deep thought on that is really important for your business. Whether you change anything or not, if you're being really intensive with that and getting other perspectives, like from these articles, it's just so important to have access to all of that sort of stuff. It's really fun. Honestly, you can get down a deep rabbit hole in some of these.
You really can.
I've gotten lost for a little bit of time, I'm not gonna lie. And we live in this world. So it's
when you
really
start
fun.
like diving deeper, right? It's you keep finding more levels. There's a couple questions that I saw just briefly, both in chat and Q&A, about finding videos or video library or accessing from their phone. So I'm just going to say this, even though it has nothing to do with the Resource Hub. Your Bombbomb account is an entire ecosystem where all of your video files or your videos are going to be available anytime you're logged into your Bombbomb account, whether it's on the web platform, whether it's Gmail or your mobile app. I'm having a hard time with my words today, Kevin.
You know what? We all have those days. It happens. I think you're.
Don't worry, guys.
You
I'm
know?
a professional speaker.
We'll all work through this together.
So for example, if you are recording a video from your desktop inside of your Bombbomb account, as soon as you save that video and it's ready to go, it's accessible from your mobile app. I've also heard people asking about, being able to find a video that you recorded to use again. Any video you record is going to be saved in your video library. Kevin and I have told you over and over and over again that you should title your video while you're making it so that you can find it again. So you can easily search your video library to find those videos, but you also can drag them into files on the web app so that they're easier to find that way. Okay.
This kind of leads in. I know. I just saw Graham's chat as well. That's so funny. There was actually a good Q&A that kind of ties with this as well, Alicia. And I believe your name is pronounced Lee Dai. If you are on here, I would love some more clarification on your question. You asked, is there an auto way to send myself the video each time I'm sending it to a client? I would love to know kind of what you're hoping to achieve with that. I mean, yes, you could always add your email address. There's not going to be a way to just automatically have them sent to you. The reason being is it starts to get a little confusing with tracking and some of those sort of things. If all of a sudden you are getting videos and playing them, then you're not going to know if the right person is or if it's you, or there can be some confusion there. But if it's just having access to the video, knowing what you're saying in the video, having that as a resource to jump back to if you need it, the video library is always there. So you'll always be able to access that in Bombbomb. So if you want to clarify that, Lee, if you're still on here, I would love to help provide a good answer for you, but just trying to understand a little bit deeper since that tied into what Alicia was talking about as well.
Yeah. Okay, so we've gotten down to the additional resource section. For those
Elizabeth Scott, listen, this is for you. This spot's for you.
It's for everyone who asks every single time if the webinar is being recorded. We'll keep answering the question. I'm not mad that you ask. I'm glad that you're finding value in what we're doing, that you really want to see the replays. But down here, you're going to find these additional resources. And the very first one is, in fact, that webinar page. And guess what? Every single webinar that we do ends up on this page. So this is the one that you are in right now, the Owning Your Video Success. Once this webinar is done, probably at some point in the next couple of days here, this webinar will be right here at the top of this page. But you've got our latest sessions here, right? You've got last month where we talked about deliverability. You've got the month before where we talked about prospecting 101. So this page is always updated with our most recent webinars. All right, going back. The Bombbomb Academy. Kevin, do you want to talk about the Bombbomb Academy?
This is a fun one. I'm excited to talk about this because this is kind of one of my little babies here at Bombbomb. So what is the Bombbomb Academy in general? I'm sure you've had lots of different softwares or products that you use that have like on-demand learning centers. The way I want you to think about, should I go to the Academy, is if you're kind of asking yourself the question of like, man, I want to understand this, but I need more hand-holding in it, right? So Alicia just clicked on that. You will have, I'm so glad this little step popped up because I do think this makes some people go, wait a second. That is basically just allowing yourself to get into this program. We're not getting any information. You can definitely always allow that without thinking twice. But what the Bombbomb Academy is it's really an on-demand center for you. Now, what does that mean? It means you can come to it whenever you want to, and we have different courses. That's the biggest thing I want you to think of that's different from the blog or even the use case library or some of those. Those are going to be kind of quick little articles or quick things that you can read through and then choose if you want more. These are actual courses that are built to go in succession. So you'll go through different activities. You'll read an article, you'll listen to a podcast, you'll watch a video. Unfortunately, it is going to be a lot of videos from me, so I apologize ahead of time. My face is all over this thing. But what I want to point out to you guys is a lot of the questions that I've been seeing in chat from technical standpoints and some of those thoughts, this could be a really great resource for you. Now, what we've tried to do is take some of the features in Bombbomb and tie them to deeper meanings in your business, right? So a great example of this is branding, right? People ask us all the time. In fact, I've been seeing lots of questions about templates. Should I keep using a template that I've had for a few years? It's consistent with my website, but do clients get annoyed with that? These are great questions. These are really, really smart questions of how do you keep your personal branding included in all of this stuff? Maybe you're sitting there going, I don't even have branding. Do I need it? Go check out this course. The first part of this course is talking you through why is branding important? Why is it smart to take some time and look through that? And then we tie that to Bombbomb in a specific technical way with our video landing pages, right? Depending on what membership you have this landing page that you can bring your branding, you can bring your contact info, your colors, all of that sort of stuff in. Or we even talk about our email composer, which is where you can build templates. You can build the stuff that goes around it in a full-fledged email. So it's tying Bombbomb to these deeper purposes. That's the real goal of the Academy. But it's also walking through, Alicia, if you want to just click on one of them, just kind of view the course there. I wanted to show you guys a little bit of a glimpse of what that looks like. If you'll scroll down there, you can see the course outline. None of these courses are extremely long. I don't want you to be overwhelmed of like, oh, geez, I'm signing up for a year's worth of work or a month's worth of work. You can see this one's got about, I don't know, 6 or 7 different activities that we're going to go through. Some of them are just articles that I'm going to read through. Some of them are videos to watch, some of those sort of things. So it's hopefully a really great resource that I want to encourage all of you to explore. You saw on there, there was one specifically on email engagement. How do I get my emails opened more? That's a question we get all of the time. We talk through some of those strategies. How do I get my videos played and get higher video engagement? That's one of the courses on there. There's even one about flexibility, right? We've been talking about the mobile app. Alicia, you just brought that up with some questions. How do I use the mobile app? Well, that's a huge way that you're going to be more flexible in your business, is being able to record video wherever you're at. So we talk about the mobile app. We talk about our Chrome extension and some of those features within that, as well as trying to give you deep principles on flexibility and why that's an important thing for you to look at in your business. I could literally talk for an hour on this because I spent so much time in here trying to think through what's best. And hopefully we've hit the nail on the head to some degree as well. The Bombbomb Academy is the one piece on the Resource Hub that does require a Bombbomb account. Yep. So this is one of those added pieces you do get once you actually are a Bombbomb client. Once you're a Bombbomb client, you don't pay for any of it. It's included in your membership itself. But that is the one thing I just did want to give a heads up on. If you click on that and you don't have a membership, it's going to ask you to log in and you won't be able to get past that point. So hopefully this is really helpful. I really encourage you guys to go play around on that, work through some of these. I actually give little bits of homework and assignments at the end of these courses, and some of them require you sending a video to me, finding me on LinkedIn, send me a video. And I have gotten the funnest videos. I've been able to build really good connections with some of our clients through that sort of stuff. So it's just a great way to continue to kind of challenge you through that workflow.
That's great. I want people to send me videos.
It's really fun.
It's
yes.
fun.
And they're taking tips and they're learning from it. So it's a great way to kind of get that into practice real quick and easy. So it's really fun. I really encourage you, if you have some time, to go check that out for sure.
So I saw a question that I do want to address really quick. And that was, I saw someone asking about, where can we go to just get like the basic, like Bombbomb 101? If you go to the webinar page, at the very top of the webinar button, there is actually an option for you to register for the getting started basics webinar that runs on a regular basis. So if you just, are you like, wait, I need the basic, how do I record a video? On that webinar page, there is an opportunity for you to register for basically like Bombbomb 101, okay? All right, support site. This was the next one that I clicked on. Sorry, I clicked on it too quick here. I was getting ahead of myself, but under these additional resources, you're gonna have our support site. Now, we completely revamped our support site recently with the Resource Hub because we dug into the data and we found that our customers were having a hard time finding the help they needed on our support site. So we completely revamped it. I'm not going to dive a ton into all of this stuff here, but again, you can still browse by topic. For example, the Chrome extension, right? If you are curious about the Chrome extension, you need to understand how to download it or, how to use it and all of that, you click on Chrome extension, okay? And it talks about the browser, Gmail, and Outlook one in there. The other thing that we do have is some of the top articles over here, and then you can still search it for topical things as well. If you're not sure what you're trying to do or you don't know exactly, but like maybe you want to search tracking because you don't know where to find your tracking. If I come in here and I search tracking, it's going to bring up all of the help articles associated with tracking, both from the knowledge base as well as community posts. Okay.
One thing I want to point out real fast here, Alicia, before we jump off the support site, is that we really do try to abide to all of the different learning styles that are out there, right? We know some people like to read and that's how they retain information. They like steps. Other people want to watch. There are videos. I'm not going to say on 100% of these articles, but there are lots of videos out there as well. Literally us sharing our screen, walking you through the steps as well. So I don't want you to feel overwhelmed, like that's never going to work for me. It's literally just like a person walking you through step by step. Play the video, pause it, do what you need to in your account, come back for the next step. So there's a lot of different ways to learn through that information as well.
Yep. And I will tell you, the chat widget isn't popping up because I've X'd out of it a couple times lately, just from being here on this page over the webinar. But just so you know, on the support site, you can chat with a human being. This is the easiest and the fastest way for you to get human help. If you're not finding what you need in the support articles, if you're just not getting the help you need from the articles, there is an option to chat with a real person right there. It is not a bot on that support site. I'm telling you, it's a real person. Okay. I saw a great comment here. Shout out to our support team. Beth said that she's used the support team and they are amazing. She said, I'm facing my 42nd, 29th birthday and needed tech help. Love to hear that. I love our support team. They do such a good job of taking care of our customers. All right, we're winding down here. Let's see. We covered webinars, Bombbomb Academy, the support site, video content. Real quick, we have a YouTube page that is loaded with video content.
At first, there wasn't much.
That one starts automatically because it's YouTube, but let me just tell you, playlists, if you come here, you can see we've got them broken down by all sorts of different categories. You could waste an entire day on our YouTube page going through videos, but please know, if you click on that video content, it's going to take you right to our YouTube page where you can find tons and tons of video content, training, old podcasts, tons and tons of resources there. Okay. Second to last one here is the podcast. The podcast is hosted by our very own Chief Evangelist, Ethan Butte. This is really, really great. I think what I love the most about the Customer Experience podcast is that I'm learning so much from people in all sorts of different industries and thought leaders and sales executives. And that's really, the focus is on customer experience, but let me just tell you, if you've not been listening to the podcast, you got to check it out. But all of the episodes are here right on the podcast so that you can scroll through and browse episodes. And again, all of the episodes have a written breakdown, as well as you can listen to it right on the site, as well as it has video clips usually pulled out as well. So that's how you can find the podcasts there, which, let me go back one more click. This brings us to our very last section on here, which is the book. Ethan turned on his camera just on cue. I love it. Welcome, Ethan. I'm so glad that you've joined us and you have some very exciting news for our customers.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for the nice words about the podcast. It is one of the most fun and rewarding things I've personally done because I learn a ton talking with these people. We're over 150 episodes in. That's at podcast. But I want to talk about the last tab because it is something that Steve Passanelli, longtime friend, team member, our chief marketing officer here at Bombbomb. Many folks on this session probably know him or have heard him speak. We worked together on a book. So at the bottom of the page, of course, book is the one we're talking about here. And when we go to that site, you'll see, of course, Rehumanize Your Business. Some of you may have read it. If you haven't, I think it's currently 20% off at Amazon. And it is basically the what, why, who, when, and how of video messaging. It's very specific to video messaging. And of course, you can go into this page and learn more. You can probably see some of the people. I know Laura Anderson is at the bottom of this page. You can see endorsements from different people who read it and said nice things about it. We have some nice photos of customers who were kind enough to read it. And some of the placements that we got around the country. And so that's all on the Rehumanize section. That's a book that we wrote a couple of years ago. It's still super relevant today. When you're asking, how do I get started? This is one of, if you prefer to learn this way. Kevin smartly talked about learning styles and trying to address them. If you like reading and you want something you can refer back to over and over and just have it hand and kind of mark the pages up and tab things, great resource there. But in this case, Steve and I wanted to go wider than video email and video messages. And we wanted to go deeper into human connection. And so in this book, the premise is that the spaces that we operate in every day, email, Slack, LinkedIn, our phones, text messaging, unsolicited phone calls, all these spaces that we operate in every single day are noisier and more polluted than ever. And even if you as a sales professional or a business professional is sincere, you're reaching out in all the right ways for all the right reasons, you are still caught up in this noise and pollution because your message may not get the attention that it deserves, or someone may scrutinize it. Is this really from who it says it's from? If you start thinking about some of the things that concern you, annoy you, frustrate you, and sometimes even scare you about what's going on in all these digital channels, that is what we call digital pollution. And so what Steve and I did was rounded up nearly a dozen of our expert friends. We can see some of them on this page here. We rounded up a bunch of people. You can click and learn more about each one of them in LinkedIn. Julie Hansen, for example, is a former sales professional who was also an actress. She was on Sex and the City, multiple Broadway shows. And she then took that blend of skills and teaches people how to be more effective on video. Just awesome people that we know. Adam Contos, CEO of Remax, you might be familiar with. You just saw Mario Martinez. We interviewed him on our podcast, but he's also in the book. And so we brought these experts in to give you a path to break through the noise, to get the attention that you need and want, to engage people that you're reaching out to, have them trust you on the spot and move forward with you and respond back, because that's what digital communication is about. It's a give and take. And then ultimately to build revenue, reputation, and relationships for the long term, despite the fact that these channels are all going to be harder to get through than ever. So this book releases in October from Fast Company Press. We did the first one with Wiley. This one is with Fast Company Press. You can pre-order it here. You can pre-order it from Target, Walmart, Amazon, etc. And something that we did that I want to draw your attention to in particular is show you quickly how you can learn about things that are going on right now that are limited time while the book is in pre-order mode. And you can get bonuses for ordering as few as 1 copy or 2 or 3 or 4 copies. If you want 10 for people in your network or your team or your company, or 25, we also have some specific packages that people are engaging us on, bringing us in as Steve and me to bring us in as an additional layer or component of an event that you're producing, or to create a company learning event. Some of these are half day and even full day experiences. We will come to where you are. So no matter what you're thinking about, if you like the ideas that we have in the blog and in the way that you engage with people like Alicia and Kevin, if you like the way that we see the world, the way that we use video ourselves, the way that you're using it with us, if you share this philosophy and vision, I know that you will get a ton of value out of this book. Again, whether it's just for you or whether it's for all the folks in your company or in your team or in your personal network. And that all starts at the bottom of the resource page at resource hub on that book tab, or you can just go straight to bombbomb.com/book and learn more about it. And if you have any questions at all, you can email me directly, Ethan, ETHAN @bombbomb.com, or book@bombbomb.com, which I also reply to, by the way. That goes to 2 of us here at Bombbomb, and I am one of them. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions about the content, about the bonus packages. We have designed a number of experiences, and some of them, the first one actually ends if you don't pre-order by the end of August. That live event where we're bringing in 2 of the people featured in the book just goes away because it just times out on you. And so there are a number of moving pieces there, live interactive events, and of course, some of the resources that we've already shared here. And I welcome any questions about that.
Yeah. Thank you, Ethan, for telling everyone about the book. Obviously, I'm appreciative that you wrote it. We're working through it internally here in lots of different book clubs and having incredible conversations about it. I love what you said, though. If you like the way we see the world, right? If you are aligned with us, this is why so many of our customers are here. And I, really just want to close out with that to remind you all that, yes, video is a tool and it can help you in your business. But the real reason why all of us are here and why we do this is that we believe that you are a human being with intrinsic value. And when you are able to communicate with your human being, your humanness, it changes the way people see you and feel you and hear you. And that's why we do this. It's about creating connections. It's not about cool video tech. So any really important questions we missed, Kevin?
No major ones that I've seen. I think we've touched on it. I mean, there's some specific questions. Bruce, I don't want you to think we ignored you about those of you that are using Bombbomb as a CRM. Unfortunately, that's a really big question. So it's kind of hard to touch on that in a webinar, facet as far as that stuff goes. If you want to shoot me an email, you can email me at kandrews@bombbomb.com. I'm happy to help you kind of work through that. But there's nothing huge there. Do you have any video case studies for job applications? Just kind of specific questions like that, but nothing major. I think that that we need to touch on a large scale at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, reach out to us if you have questions that didn't get answered. Again, if you go to the support site, there's a contact us option that you can send in a ticket directly, or that chat window will pop up. I see it right. I'm back on the resource hub and my chat window popped up asking if I have support questions. So check out the support site. If we didn't answer your question, I'm sorry, but we appreciate having you here. Thank you so much for showing up. I think Kevin and I say it every month, but this is my favorite session of the month. I love our customers. So we appreciate you guys showing up. And I hope you still show up now that we gave away all of our best secrets.
Yeah, right. Well, and kind of teaser to next month for those of you guys that like to come every month. We're talking about 3 specific interviews from the book that Ethan was just talking about next month. So Ethan's going to hop on here again next month, and we're going to look at some of these really great practices, just like the podcast and those other things. We don't want you always listening to only us. Let's hear what other people say. Let's hear their philosophies on how they're trying to be more human in their communication too. So
Can I share something on that really quickly? Yeah. Can I share something on that really quickly? So Steve and I, we handpick these people. They do see the world the same way we do, that revenue is a consequence of being of service and value, building relationship, building trust, et cetera. And we not only did we research these people in advance and like listen to their podcasts, read their blogs, read their books, et cetera. And we knew them at some personal level as well. But we did over 18 hours of interviews with them. I've since edited all that down to 14 hours of interviews with these people. And that is what, if you order 1 copy of the book, pre-order 1 copy of the book per that book bonus site, you get immediate access to all 14 hours of interviews that I edited down. And so that's just one glimpse into it. And so the 3 of us next month are going to break down a couple really great ideas from those conversations that you could put into play immediately. There's just so much good stuff in there and good people, just like you, Alicia and Kevin.
Oh,
thanks,
Ethan. Ethan.
Just like all of you that are attending here with us.
I'm telling you, I was reading some of those chats and I got a little bit misty-eyed. It's not hard to make Alicia cry. However, I got a little misty-eyed from those chats. So thank you guys. Have an incredible rest of your day. We will see you next month when we're joined by Ethan to talk about some of the interviews from the book. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.